Is what the Quran says about Maryam. Maryam, that is translated as Mary, peace be upon her. She is referred in the Quran as woman. And this concept about Maryam, Mary, why I have chosen this topic, because around the world in the Christendom, Mary is referred as mother of God, that is Jesus, Son of God, and God as the Father. So why the Christians have this concept that God beget a son from Mary? This is the concept that the Christians are having it today. What was the difficulty and what the problem arose that Mary having a son without a father? That's the topic. Generally, mankind knows the creations of Adam without father and mother, and the sons of Adam, that are the children of Adam. We are all sitting in the audience. That's the children of Adam. And Mary does not have a husband. That's the concept. How did she had a son? That is Maryam, peace be upon Jesus, peace be upon him. How did he have a son? Jesus. That's the discussion we're going to have. And then the allegations made on Maryam, and how did Allah clarify the personality of Maryam. Shura Surah and 42 number and 49 to 50 ayat. Lillahi mulku samawati wal ard yakhluqu ma yasha' يهب لمن يشاء إناثا ويهب لمن يشاء الذكور أو يزوجهم ذكرانا وإناثا ويجعل من يشاء عقيما إنه عليم قدير. For Allah is the kingdom of the skies and the earth. He creates what He will. He grants for whom He will females, and He grants for whom He wills males, and He grants them paired, that is coupled jointly of a male and a females, males and females, and He make whom He wills barren, that is futile, unproductive, ineffective. Surely is known evaluate. He's a knower evaluator. In this ayah, you'll note that Allah has created male and female of an individual. The first reference is that Allah grants mankind, that is inasa, that's a plural of unsa, and unsa is referred as female. Unsa in Arabic means females, and inasa means females, plural. The other word is zakur, that refers to males, an individual born as males, an individual born as females. Allah creates and He grants to mankind. An individual born would be a female, an individual born would be a male. That's in the first portion of an ayah. Whom Allah wills, He provides females. Whom Allah wills, He provides males. But the further part is the very important to understand, and that is أَوْ يُزَوِّجُهُمْ ذُكْرَانًا وَإِنَاثًا. He paired, He joined males and females. This I will elaborate and discuss. In the world, we see an individual born as a male or born as a female. But at the same time, we see in the world there are joint coupled boys or coupled males, Jodwa. Okay? Then there are joint couples, females, or joint couples, male and a female. All of you have seen it, and that is the creation of Allah. But most of the people in the audience at present, and there are very few people do not know, there are times that an individual is born with two sexes, that is male and a female. An individual born with two sexes, male and a female, coupled. And that is, you have to understand. There are majority of the doctors and the scientists know this. But mostly the people do not know. An average man but in the Quran there is a coupling of a male. You see, a child is born, the sex is identified. When I say the child is born, the sex is identified, and it's this person, this boy, this child is a female. Or you can say this child is a male. But there are times with the dual sexes a child is born. Dual sex. That's the scientific fact I'm telling you. It's not new something, but we general people do not know. That the person, individual can have both sexes, and that is known as coupling of a male and a female. Coupling, paired together as a male and a female in an individual. And then further it says, وَيَجْعَلَكُمْ مَنْ يَشَاءُ أَقِيمًا إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. The fourth category is that the person is born, or Allah made him, aqim means barren. A male born is a barren, or a female is born barren. That means they cannot produce further progeny or children. So there are four classes. One is a boy, men they become men. One are females, they become women. And one, couples are there, Jorwa or together, two males, twins we call them, or twins of a male and a female. And the fourth category is, within that is a one person having two sexes of male and female within that person. And the fourth is, a person can be a man, a boy, adult, but cannot produce children, or a female that cannot produce children, and that is aqima, barren. So these are the classes Allah has mentioned in this ayah, that there are types of people born in this world. Generally people identify, but there are certain classes we have not yet, average people cannot understand, but the doctors and the scientists know this as a fact. So this ayah was not printed, I have referred to this ayah. Why this ayah is referring? Because Maryam personality is to be discussed. Was she a female, a woman, or was she different than only a female? What she was. That's the topic. Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite. This is an English word with an individual having both external and internal male and female sex organs. And then further it is defined, this is the reference from Webster Abridged Dictionary, and hermaphrodite is a reference from textbook of medical jurisprudence and toxicology. In this condition, the external genitals may be both of sexes, and the internal genitals may consist of both ovaries and testes. Such cases are known as double sexes, couple sexes. The nucleus sex is usually female, but may be a male. These are conditions rare. Usually she is a woman having another sex, the male sex. This in the medical terminology is hermaphrodite, a dual sex, an individual having a dual sex. But usually she's a female. Exceptions are there, but 99% they are females. So now I will come to the topic. This I've already mentioned that people know the creations as a male and a female, double sexes, dual sexes is not generally known. So I had to inform you that the Quran has already mentioned these creations are there. Now, coming to the topic of Maryam, first I will just, the first page, I would like to give you references and what is the honor the Maryam, peace be upon her, mentioned in the Quran. These are just references, just telling you what honor she had. Like for example, Al-Mu'minun 23 Surah Ayah 50. She's referred in the Quran as an ayah. She was a sign, an ayah, a sign to recognize that, you know, ayat in the Quran mean verses or sign. That means you can understand the creation of Allah by the Allah's signs. She's referred as a sign by Allah as an example. Then Surah Tahrim 66:12, Min al-Qanitin, she was from the devotees. Al Imran 3:42, Allah astafaki wa tahraki, Allah has chosen her and purified her. Al Anbiya 21 ayah 91, fanafakna fiha min ruhina, Allah breathed spirit into her self soul psyche. At Tahrim 66 ayah 12, fanafakna fihi min ruhina, Allah breathed spirit into it, that is gap, private parts. At Tahrim 66 and ayah 12, وَصَدَّقَتْ بِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّهَا وَكُتُبِهِ, she was truthful with the words and the books of Allah. Now coming back to the same page, there are two references in Al-Anbiya 21 and 91 and At Tahrim 66:12. I just make a point here and then in the ayats of the Quran we'll analyze. The point is very important in this too. If you look at the Arabic, فَنَفَقْنَا فِيهَا مِنْ رُوحِنَا, then you see in the At Tahrim 66:12, فَنَفَقْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا. What is the difference? Just I want to clarify here. In the ayat we'll discuss. You know, he is a pronoun of a masculine gender. He. And ha is referred as a pronoun of a feminine gender. In the Arabic, you see, whenever a female is mentioned, like in English we would say she or her. She or her. Or in English would we say for a male, he or him. That's the pronoun. Okay? But here you see fanafakna fiha. Ha is referring to Maryam. We breathe into her min ruhina, from our spirit essence. And then below it says in At Tahrim 66:12, fanafakna fihi, we breathe into it min ruhina. So what is the difference between hiya is the masculine and the feminine? So in all the translations in the world, they have translated he as her. Knowingly there is a pronoun masculine gender, it should not be translated as feminine gender. All the translations, it's a masculine gender. So what Allah breathed into her and what he breathed into it or him, I will discuss in the ayahs. Ali Imran 3 and ayat 35. إذ قالت امرأة عمران ربي إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا فتقبل مني إنك أنت السميع العليم فلما وضعتها قالت ربي إني وضعتها أنثى والله أعلم بما وضعت وليس الذكر كالأنثى وإني سميتها مريم وإني أعيذها بك وذريتها من الشيطان الرجيم. When the wife of Imran said, my Lord, surely I have dedicated what is in my belly, freed, liberated for you, so accept from me, surely you are the listener, the knower. When she gave birth to her, she said, "My Lord, surely I gave birth to her a female. Allah knows more with what she gave birth. And male is not like a female. And surely I've named her Maryam, Mary, and surely I seek refuge for her with you and her offsprings, progenies, from the Satan the stoned." Now this is the narration mentioned in the Quran about the parents of Maryam. The father is Imran, and Imran's wife says, she prays to Allah. Imran's wife, meaning Maryam's mother, she prays to Allah that what is in my belly, what is in my womb, in other words, I would like to dedicate her, or I would like to dedicate whatever is in my womb, male or a female, whatever she or he is, dedicated to Allah. Meaning liberated, freed for the cause of Allah. She's dedicating her whatever is in the womb. So except for me, surely you are the listener, the knower. She prays to Allah. Now, further it says, when she gave birth to her, she said, "My Lord, surely I gave birth to her a female." Look, in the Arabic is قالت ربي إني وضعتها أنثى. Untha refer to female. Now obviously the child that was born, when the wife of Imran saw the child born, she apparently looked at the child and said she is Unsa, female. So it is obvious anybody can identify the sex of a child, a female or a male. But Allah says, "Wallahu a'lamu bima wada'at." Allah knows more what was being birthed. If it was just a female, Allah would have not said this. Wallahu a'lamu bima wada'at. When it was unsa, a female, why Allah says Allah knows more what she was given as a birth? So my question to the audience is, if she was a female, confirmed female means female sex only, then Allah would have not said Allah knows more what she was given, what she was born. Can anyone say what she was? Sorry? Come on. Double sex. Because when the child, you can, what I am saying, you can confirm the scientists and the doctors. They will say you cannot identify the male sex at the birth. Who is born with a double sex? Apparently, you will see the child would apparently it would be a female. So Maryam's mother saw and said she's a female. So Allah knows more what she, Allah, Wallahu a'lam bima wada'at. And further it says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. If you say it's a male, so Allah said the male is not like a female. You follow what I'm saying? If the concept is that when she was unsa, meaning a female, when she says a female, so Allah says Allah knows more what she was given, what she gave birth. But if you see, if you comes in the mind, it should be a male, because she might have taken as a male. So Allah said, no, the male is not like a female. So you cannot call the child that was born a female, neither a male, because male is not like a female. So we can say safely, we'll see all the other eyes, that she had a double sex. So, وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا Maryam, she said, I have named her Maryam, surely I have named her Maryam, وَإِنِّي أُعِيدُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا minash shaitan rajim, and surely I have named her Maryam, and surely I seek refuge for her with you and her offsprings, progenies from the Satan the stone. Now she is praying, who? Maryam's mother. She is praying that I seek refuge of Allah to Maryam and her offsprings, progenies. Now, in the Quran, the word Zuriya is a plural, Zuriya. And in the whole Quran, you will notify that it is mentioned with male. The progenies or the descendants or the offsprings is through a male gender. Through a male gender. The progeny or the offsprings. Like for example, there is a mention in the Quran of Zuriyat Adam. Or you can say the offsprings of Adam. Then Zuriyat Nuh. Offsprings of Noah, peace be upon him. Then Zuriyat Ibrahim, offsprings of Ibrahim, peace be upon him. Then Zuriyat Israel, offsprings of Israel. And many places Zuriyat is mentioned, offsprings, descendants, or you can say progenies from a male gender. But here she says, from the offsprings of Maryam, I seek refuge for you, from you, to Allah. That means it was not Isa, peace be upon him, only that was born through Maryam. You will see in the Quranic ayat, that means the generations from Isa, peace be upon him, carried. Normally in the world, in the Christendom, Isa, peace be upon him, did not marry. And they make it a full stop. That Isa, peace be upon him, did not marry. That means there were no offsprings. So in the Quran this mentions Zuriyat, descendants, offsprings, progenies from Maryam and her offsprings. That means the generation continued. A child born from Maryam, we'll see how. But this is what I'm trying to convey is from this ayat also we know that there were offsprings from Maryam. Now in further issue, now how Allah describe this whole procedures in the ayahs, we'll say Al Imran 3 and ayah 42. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةُ يَا مَرْيَمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَاكِ وَطَهَّرَكِ وَاصْطَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ Ya Maryam uqnuti li rabbiki wasjudi warka'i ma'ar raki'in. And when the angel said, O Maryam, Mary, surely Allah has chosen you and purified you and chosen you above the women of all worlds. O Maryam, Mary, be devout for your Lord and prostrate and bow down with those who bow down. In this ayah, the angels came to Maryam, peace be upon her, and says that Allah has chosen you, purified, and chosen you above the women of all nations. The purification and the choosing. Now, there are many, we'll read the ayahs further, but why Allah says that Allah has chosen her above the woman of all worlds? First of all, we must understand that in the Quran, Maryam, peace be upon her, is the only name of a woman in the Quran. There are no other names of females in the Quran. And there is a surah or the chapter by the name Maryam Mary in the whole book Quran. That means she is the most honorable or the most purified woman in the whole world. No woman has got beyond her status than Maryam, peace be upon her. in the Christian Bible, there is no mention as this honor, that she is a chosen woman of all worlds. And just to have a comparison, I would be giving certain verses of the Bible. You see, in the Bible, or if you read the Bible, this honor is not to be found for Mary as the most honorable woman of all worlds. And the Christians, if you ask the Christians, and I've been discussing, and I referred this ayat to one of the Christian scholar, and I'm asking him, do you find this honor given to Mary in the Bible? He said no. Because in the Bible you see that Jesus calls Mary not even mother. He calls Mary as woman. Woman. Because they have got the concept that she was just a medium to give a birth to Jesus, the Son of God. They do not give the honor that much. But there are certain women, there are certain group of Christians, they call them that Father is God and Mother Maryam is also God. So some group. And Jesus is Son of God. And the generation did not follow because he did not marry. Why? Because he was Son of God, then there will be many sons of God. So they had to stop till Jesus. No progeny. Only Jesus and no further generation. Because Father is God, Mother is Mary is God, and Son is Jesus God. Only this a pair, astaghfirullah, and the further is no further progeny. Otherwise, Son of gods and many sons of God will be walking on this planet Earth. Astaghfirullah. So they said Jesus did not marry and had no children, no offsprings. They have to stop there. So Allah chosen her and purified her and chosen her above the woman of all worlds. Now I just want to make a point. You know, women have periodical menstruation cycle and they are not purified in those days. So the word here purified, how did she got purified, we'll discuss later on, which will be, of course, an education to all of us. But Allah says Allah purified her and chosen her above the woman of all worlds. I would like to tell you that what happens during the courses of menstruation cycle, the women are not purified. That's in the ayat in the Quran. And once the menstruation cycle is over, then they are purified. For a certain period of time, they are not purified. Like for example, 6 days or 5 days or 4 days. And once the pregnancy occurs, then they don't have menses. So they are purified. And once they go to the menopause period, then they are purified. All over. Women do not have menses, they are purified. And after the menopause they are purified, or in between, if they are having this periodical periods, they are not purified in those days. So Allah purified her. We'll discuss how in the further ayahs. So further it says, O Maryam, be devout for your Lord and prostrate and bow down with those who bow down. So that we can all understand that she was establishing the prayer. What is bowing down? We stand, we bow and prostrate. That means Maryam, peace be upon her, Allah asked her to pray, in other words, with those who pray. Meaning they are bowing, prostrating. So you, all of you, Maryam also should pray by bowing down and prostrating. That's in continuation. ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهِ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يُلْقُونَ أَقْلَامَهُمْ أَيُّهُمْ يَكْفُلُ مَرْيَمَ وَمَا كُنْتَ لَدَيْهِمْ إِذْ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. That is from the prophecies of the absent we inspired towards you, and you were not with them when they threw their pens. Who would be responsible to take charge of Maryam Mary, and you were not with them when they argued, disputed. Now this ayah is referring to Allah says to the Muhammad, peace be upon him, because he was not there at that time. What happened? So these Allah said, that is from the prophecies. That means Allah prophesying to Prophet Muhammad, Messenger Muhammad, peace be upon him, of the absent. He was not present at that time. We inspired towards you, and you were not with them when they threw their pens. Now in Arabic, pen